So hello friends, welcome back to RealmeParts. So this video is going to be an in-depth review of SuperiorOS extended for Realme 6785 devices, which includes Realme 6, 6i, Realme 7, Narzo 20 Pro and Narzo 30 4G. And the Realme 6i is G90 variant. So talking about the first look, it has got a minimal UI like other ROMs you can see. And if I hold in the home settings, this is the home settings. In icons we get this much customization, then in home screen we get this much like wallpaper scrolling, wallpaper zooming, etc. and swipe to access Google app, etc. just like the options we get in other ROMs, I mean in other launchers. In the recent we get the memory info which shows the current RAM usage, and talking about the RAM usage, it shows 1.4 GB you can see, but if I go to the active processes, let me show you. So if I show you the running services, you can see around 1.8 or you can say 2 GB of RAM is free currently, which is very good sign because in 4 GB RAM variant the free RAM we get is around 1.5 GB in most of the ROMs, but in this ROM the RAM is almost free. And in miscellaneous we get these options like suggestions and the hidden and protected apps. Yes, you guessed it right. This is basically the app log which we get in this ROM, and you can add any apps in this list. And even we get a restart option to restart the launcher. If anything, I mean any customization does not get applied, then you can restart, then it will be applied automatically. So now let's get to the settings. So the settings UI looks like this. Take a closer look. And every time when I open the settings, I click here in the Google and it redirects me to this menu, which I don't like. The about section should be here just like other ROMs. So the about section of this ROM is here. If you click on the device name, you will get the about info, and it shows the current wallpaper right here and the device info like processor information, RAM, battery, etc. And you can change the device name. In Android version, you can see this is SuperiorOS extended based on Android 13 and RealmeUI 2.0, and the Android version is of course Android 13, and the kernel is currently Psionic Kernel because I changed the stock kernel. The stock kernel was Lineage kernel. I don't think you all are interested in that because that kernel gives fluctuating performance. I don't like that at all. So this is it. And the Linux status is enforcing, which is good for security purpose. Now in network and internet we get the private DNS and we get a bunch of options right here. Then in the connected devices there is no such extra options. In the display we get the extra dim, dark theme, night light, and in colors we can customize the color scheme. You can see we get the color balance in this ROM, so you can do color correction. Even we get display cutout, but this is not that useful because by default the cutout is set, which is the best cutout you can get on your phone. Then we get lift to wake and tap to wake, which does not work like other ROMs, and someone was saying that the double tap to wake does not work, but you can see I have turned on the double tap to wake and it is working. The double tap to wake is working, and even double tap to lock, both are working, but the lift to wake does not work like other ROMs. And in apps we get the game space. Now in game space we get all the options like Danmaku mode, etc. like RealmeUI, and you can add the games right here in the library. And we get the parallel space where you can use multiple instances of a same application. Now in the storage we get the storage info. There is nothing extra. Talking about the battery backup, here it comes the most interesting part of this ROM. This ROM gives 8 to 9 hours of screen on time easily. So if I show you the detailed usage, you can see this was the screenshot that I took. So when 50% battery remains, it gives 3.5 hours of screen on time, and when the battery percentage remains 15%, it gives 6.3 hours of screen on time. So from this battery percentage you can easily get the battery backup of this ROM, because if we drain this to 0%, we will easily get 7 to 8 hours of screen on time for 77% battery health, which is currently the battery health of my phone. If you have more than that, you can get up to 9 hours of screen on time depending on your usage. And here is another screenshot that I took. For 21% battery usage, the screen on time was 5 hours. So it depends on your usage actually. And talking about the options that we get the battery manager, battery optimization, and the battery light, the battery widget. You can add this to the home screen. Then we get the sleep mode. Now in the security, we get the face and fingerprint, and both are working perfectly fine. Let me show you. So at first, you can see the fingerprint is working like a champ. And talking about the face unlock, let me add the face, and you can see the face unlock also works like a champ. And here also we get the app lock, where you can add any apps from your app list. And I'm not sure that this app lock is the same app lock that is used in the launcher. I'm talking about this one. So let's add an app and see. So if I add the VPN, then I see this section. You can see the VPN is currently showing. So this means both the app locks are same. I mean the app lock which is showing in the security section and the app lock which is showing in the launcher are same. So let's get out of it. Now in the system, we get the developer option which is turned on by default. We get the Realme settings, where we get performance profile, which I don't actually use. Then we get the CABC mode, game mode, the MTK engineering mode, which is actually working. And when we pull up, we get a minimal haptic feedback. And talking about the call recording, let me show you. So there is no call recording because the dialer is Google dialer. We don't get the OSP dialer. So this is it for the settings. Let's get to the performance. So this is the first screenshot that I took without any performance script or any kind of module, and this was with the stock kernel that we get in this ROM. If you see the graph carefully, you can see there is a lot of fluctuations. Although I did not use the performance script, but after using the performance script in the stock kernel, you can see the performance is not that good. It's still fluctuating a lot. So I changed the kernel to Lineage+, which is made by AVZ Raider, and when the performance script was turned off, I get this much performance. You can see the graph is really smooth and the performance was 87%, whereas it was 80% only in the stock kernel. So this is the basic. So this is the difference. And when I used the performance script with the Lineage+ kernel, you can see the graph is just like a straight line. So this is the performance that we get with the performance script, and you can see the CPU throttle 94% of its maximum performance, which is a really good score. Now customization center. So the customization center looks like this. It's called the Superior Lab, and if I go to themes, we get a bunch of options like UI style, Monet engine, lock screen font, and here is a bunch of options. The headline body font, icon pack, data icon style, signal icon style, icon shape, Wi-Fi icon style, the brightness slider style, the navbar style. In the status bar, we get the network traffic indicator, which is working like a champ. We get colored icons, battery styles, the logo, and in the logo we can set any of this logo, but I don't use it actually. We get the 4G icon, and we get an option called display 5G indicator. So when this is turned off, it will show normal 4G, but if you turn this on, it will show 5G.
Magic.
So this is a very good option for show off. So if you like to show off, you can simply turn this on and you can do whatever. And we get the roaming indicator, miscellaneous signal and Wi-Fi icon style, the mic and camera privacy indicator. In the quick setting, we can add header image, and we can also customize the padding. Then we get the combined QS element style in the quick setting UI, the QS style shape, the QS style layout, QS dual tone. In customization, I don't think there is anything left that we get in other ROMs, but not in this. So in the buttons, we get the volume awake, volume percentage, playback control, the navigation bar. In the system navigation, we get 3-button navigation and 2-button navigation, and in the gesture navigation, we get an option to get the immersive navigation, which basically hides the gesture peel and clears the blank space under the keyboard, which is called IME button space. And in gestures, we get the long press for torch, we get 3 finger gestures like Realme UI, the status bar, lock screen, etc. And in power menu, we get the advanced restart. In notification, we get the edge lighting, which looks cool but not that useful for LCD displays. We get the light color, custom color, etc. In miscellaneous, we get the parallel space, which is the same thing that is used in the launcher. We get the refill effect, which is currently turned off. So the refill effect is currently turned off because when we turn it on, it shows animation, hence it looks slow while unlocking. Then we get the charging background, use storage encryption spoofing, unlock higher FPS in games, which these days works fine, and we get an option called About Team where we can see the developer information. So this ROM is basically made by GoFarAway. So thank you GoFarAway for making this build for Realme 6785 devices. And talking about some stock applications, let me decrease the brightness. So we get 3 cameras. The first one is Realme UI looking camera, but this is not actually Realme UI camera. The custom features does not work. I mean the manual photography does not work basically, and it's raining outside, so you may get noises. Sorry for that. And here is the Gcam, which I 8.1 version 1.5. If I show you, you can see this is basically Vichaya 1.5. And we also get the Lineage OS camera, and we get 2 calendars in this ROM, the AOSP calendar and the Google calendar, and you cannot uninstall both of them, but still you can disable them, not like Realme UI where you can not uninstall or also disable. So here is the overview of this ROM. Now without further delay, let's get to the gaming test. So guys, currently I'm on the BGMI. So at first let me show you the stock kernel that I did not show you earlier. So this is basically the stock kernel, which is Lineage, GF, EF, etc., which gives fluctuating performance as I showed in the screenshots. Let me show you again. So this is the performance without script, and this is the performance with script that we get in this kernel, I mean the stock kernel. For the option called unlock higher FPS in games, we get option to unlock 90 FPS. So I will play this game at 90 FPS, but before that let me start this with the cave mark, and currently I am not using any script, so let me show you the raw performance in this ROM. So you can see the FPS right here. So at first let's play the arena training, and guys, sorry for any noise captured in the mic, I am using basic setup. So you can see without any performance script or anything, and even with the stock kernel we are getting around 60 FPS already, and now we are getting some lag around 30 FPS.
I choose stacking dimes. You snooze half the time while I move passing by. I work hard each and every day. I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no. I won't stop till I make a change.
So you can see with stock kernel and without any performance script we are getting around 37 to 50 FPS maximum, and most of the time it's around 40.
Killing spree for the blue team. Red team.
So the average FPS that we get with the stock kernel and without any performance script is not that good. We mostly get around 40 FPS. So now let's use the performance script. So the performance script is now applied. Now let's see the frame rate, and you can see the RAM management is also good. So the BGMI was still in the RAM, it was not removed. And talking about the FPS, you can see it's mostly around 60. But the frame rate is set to 90, but we are not getting that much FPS. It's mostly around 45 to 60 maximum. So let's close this match and see if the frame rate switches to 90.
About to win.
So I have started a new match. Let's see the frame rate. So we can see some improvements in the frame rate after starting a new match. You can see
Team has scored for the
it's now around 60. Sometimes it goes to 70. So you can see even after using the performance script, we are not getting that much performance in the stock kernel. So let's try changing the kernel to Lineage++. So the kernel is changed to Lineage+Perf OSS. Sorry if I pronounced it wrong. So you can see the kernel is Lineage+. So now let's see the performance. But before that, let me use the performance script. Although without performance script we will get a good performance. I think there will be around 60 fps frame rate all the time for sure. Now let's start the BGMI with GApp mark. And guys, while I am doing the gaming test, all these apps in the background are running like NoiseFit, KDE Connect. So I did not do any extra optimization, etc. So let's start the match now. So guys, you can see we are getting 60 fps stable, and I don't know why we are not getting
blue team has
80
scored
fps.
for the first time.
So even after using the force 90 Hz mode, we are not getting around 80 fps or not close to even 90. But still the fps is really stable. So as the game is running at 60 fps, the phone is not heating that much. It's around 42 degree. Otherwise in 90 fps
Fall back to safe zone.
it gets to 50 degree. So this is the performance that we get with the Lineage plus Perf kernel and with the performance script enabled. The difference is With the stock kernel, the frame rate is very low, it's around 45 even after using the performance script, but this is not in the case of Lineage kernel. In the Lineage Plus kernel, with after using the performance script, we get 60 plus fps all the time. So that's the basic difference. So this is it for this video. If you found this video helpful, make sure to subscribe to my channel, and if you have any queries, you can join my support group in Telegram. And for Realme 6785 related stuff, you can join my cloud channel in the Telegram. So I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.
6 a.m. and I'm up again. I got tired eyes, need a cup of blend. That's right, in the AM, that's my only friend. No light, just the sun coming up on the horizon. I lose track of time, yeah, I move fast and climb a new class divine. Yeah, true passion shines, and I'm through passing time. I choose